In business statistics, we have completed first 3 units of our syllabus, and in all the 3 units, we have seen introduction to statistics and measures of central tendency. Measures of central tendency were in 2 units, second and third, in which we have seen different types of averages, the meaning and definition of averages, different averages, the importance of the averages and different averages, how to use them, and how to calculate different types of averages, that is mean, median, mode, geometric mean, harmonic mean. And we have seen quartiles, deciles, percentiles in relation to median. From this lesson, we are going to start the measures of dispersion. Till now, 50% of our syllabus is completed. In measures of dispersion, we will learn about the various types of measures of dispersion, namely range, coefficient of range, quartile deviation, coefficient of quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. In this lesson, we will see measures of dispersion meaning, definition, objectives, importance, applications, and a brief introduction to different types of measures of dispersion. So, on completion of this lesson, a student will be able to understand the meaning of dispersion, the definitions of measures of dispersion, objectives of dispersion, importance of measures of dispersion, applications of measures of dispersion, various measures of dispersion in brief, and we'll also understand the terms absolute and relative measures of dispersion. To quickly recap the last lesson, what we have seen, we have learnt about calculation of mode, in continuous series. We have seen 3 different formulas. one formula related to the calculation of mode. That is, mode is equal to L plus F1 minus F0 by 2F1 minus F0 minus F2 into I, where L is lower limit of the model class interval, F1 is the frequency of the model class interval, F0 is the frequency of the preceding class interval for the model class interval, and F2 is the class interval frequency of the following class interval to the model class interval, and I is the difference of class interval of model class interval. Before using or applying this formula, we have to keep in mind certain things. One is, if class intervals are not uniform, first you make it in uniform. If class intervals and frequencies are given in cumulative frequencies, that is more than or less than frequency, above or less than below class intervals, then we have to convert these into normal simple distribution. Then we have to convert the frequency distribution or of the class interval of the given series into normal or simple distribution, simple frequency distribution. An alternative formula is also provided to this formula, that is L plus delta 1 by delta 1 plus delta 2 into I, where delta 1 is nothing but F1 minus F0, delta 2 is nothing but F1 minus F2, or delta 2 is equal to F1 minus F2. So there is no difference between the first formula and the second formula. When the frequencies are repeated, the middle frequencies are repeated, in which model class interval lies, or there is no much gap between the class interval frequencies, that is highly concentrated at one particular point where model class interval lies, then it may be called as bimodal or multimodal classes. And sometimes this series may become ill-defined. That is, we cannot define the mode by using this formula. In all these cases, first of all, we have to prepare grouping and analysis table. By following 6 steps, we will prepare grouping table, and basing on the grouping table, we will prepare analysis table. If the mode is ill-defined by using the previous formula, then mode is calculated through empirical method, where mode is equal to 3 median minus 2 mean. 3 median minus 2 mean. And with this brief revision of the last lesson, we will go to the concepts of measures of dispersion, where the unit is divided into 6 subunits, sub-concepts or objectives, in which meaning of dispersion, various measures of dispersion, calculation of range and coefficient of range, calculation of quartile deviation and coefficient of quartile deviation for different types of data. Different types of data means for individual observations, for discrete series and continuous series. A fifth objective being calculation of mean deviation and quotient of mean deviation for different types of data. And the last objective is calculation of standard deviation and coefficient of variation for the given data. Though all these measures of dispersion are important and useful, standard deviation is more important and useful, as this concept is also used for further studies in the statistics, and is almost the basic measure of dispersion which is used for statistical analysis. So we'll begin with meaning of dispersion and various measures of dispersion. What are the various measures of dispersion? Till now, as I said, we have completed measures of central tendency, where we have discussed about the averages. But in reality, averages alone cannot adequately describe a set of observations unless all the observations are similar. Similar in the sense having same type of frequency, same frequency, and so on. Same properties for the series. Because we have seen in arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean, median, mode, some frequencies are very low, some frequencies are very high. And in some problems, frequencies are very normal. We have also looked into examples for all these types of frequencies. When there is too much variation in the frequencies, the results of calculation of averages may not be correct, may not describe the data correctly. These are the some of the demerits of averages. So there is every necessity to describe the variability of the observations. Variability means variation between the observations, either the series or frequencies. This variability or variation is also called dispersion. Dispersion means dispersing, spreading out, scattering out. As if you take some handful of grains, rice or wheat or dals or something else, and you drop the grains from a certain height, say from your stomach height or something else, on the ground. Then you will observe that the grains are scattered or spread over the ground, on the floor, and some grains are very nearer, some grains fall very nearer to one another, some very far. So this scattering of grains you can explain as dispersion. So the data is also scattered like this. The series which is given may be scattered like this. In such conditions, we have to apply measures of dispersion to analyze the data. So for this purpose, it is very necessary to study the measures of dispersion. In particular, standard deviation will help you a lot in analysis of the data. So first of all, we will see what is the meaning of dispersion. In two or more distributions, suppose you take three or four, two or more different series, in continuous series, for example, different class intervals. The central value may be the same. That means the center value may be the same for all the series taken. But very wide disparities, wide means very large disparities, very big disparities. Disparities means differences in formation of the distribution may appear in the given series. For example, again you take handful of grains. For example, 3 people are taking handful of grains at a time and standing at a particular distance, drop the grains on the floor. You can observe the dropping or the grains dropped on the floor may be scattered in different ways. That is, one person dropped the grains very closely to each other in most of the cases. One person may have dropped the grains such that the grains fallen on the floor has widespread, and the other one differently. So this difference may be because of so many things. First of all, the height of the person, the height at which the person is dropping. For example, one may have dropped from the head height, one might have dropped from the chest height, one might have dropped from the knee height, and so on. So there is variation in all these types of distribution. That disparities in formation of distribution may appear. Measures of dispersion can be called scatter, as I said in the previous slide. Scattered, that means spread over, or some variation is there. So we have to measure these variations, these scatters or spreads of the grains or data. And hence this dispersion helps in study of important characteristic of a distribution. Unless we know the properties of the distribution or the properties of the data, we cannot understand the dispersion. We will see some definitions. As per A.L. Bowley, one of the famous statistician, dispersion is the measure of variation of the item. Measures of the variation. How wide or how close the data is scattered, and so on. Another example or another definition given by Spiegel, statistician Spiegel, said the degree to which numerical data tend to spread. That means the difference of numerical data spread over. For example, if the distribution is 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, the distribution is from 0 to 50. But the frequency may be different. That is degree to which numerical data tend to spread. About an average value. About an average value means, here you have to understand it very clearly, that average value always lies in the center. And the deviation from the average value with the actual data. I think you remember the deviations we have taken in arithmetic mean. Same deviations we are talking about here is called the variation or dispersion of the data. Another definition by statisticians Simpson and Kafka has given the measurement of scatterness. Scatterness means how wide they spread of the mass of figures in a series about an average is called measure of variation or dispersion. So we are trying to understand the measurement of scatterness, how wide they are spread and so on. That is nothing but measure of variation or dispersion. Some explanations to these definitions are: dispersion measures extent to which the items vary from central value. That is, the dispersion is always taken from the central value. Dispersion also called averages of the second order. Dispersion is also called averages of the second order. First order is averages, what we have seen. Second order is this one. Secondly, because it gives an average of differences of various items. In the measures of averages, measures of central tendency, we have measured the central value. But in the dispersion, we are seeing the difference between the average value and the actual value. And then we are trying to understand why the difference is, what is the difference between. That is called measures of dispersion. Here, measures of dispersion are two types in numbers. One is algebraic and another one is graphic. Algebraic means solving by some mathematical equation or some mathematical process. And graphic means using graph papers, using pictures, we are trying to draw these pictures, the data. We are trying to show the data in by using graph. The algebraic or mathematical process of calculation of measures of dispersion can be absolute and relative. We will understand what is absolute and relative in later part of this lesson. And graphs wise, Lorentz curve is also there. Of course, we do not have Lorentz curve in our syllabus, but we will try to look into the Lorentz curve very briefly. We will try to understand what is actually Lorentz curve. The absolute and relative measures are range, mean deviation, quartile deviation, and standard deviation. Four types are there: range, mean deviation, quartile deviation, and standard deviation. And of course, as I said, in the graph, Lorentz curve is there. You please observe this. Example, where three different types of series are given: series A, series B, series C. We don't bother what type of series is, that is individual, discrete, or class interval, continuous series. We just try to study these series. If you observe the data given, then you will understand that series A is equally scattered. That is, all the data given, that is 5 numbers are given. All the numbers are 50s. So they are equally scattered. That means they are known as equally scattered. So the sum of the series is of course 50 into 5, you can take 250, and the average also of course is only 50, because 250 by 5 is 50. So it is uniformly spread, equally scattered, and the mean median mode calculated for this series will also be 50 only, right? Because you calculate by the mean is 50, median is n plus 1 by 2, that is 5 plus 1 by 2, that is 6 by 3, 6 by 2 is 3. The third item is 50. And mode also, by inspection, you can see all 50s. So mode is 50. Like this you have to understand. In series B, more or less equally scattered. The numbers are equally scattered because the highest number is 53 and lowest number is 47. Right? So they are equally scattered almost, because 48, 50, 2 less for the first series, first variable compared to second variable. Third variable is more than second variable and first variable, that is by 3 and 5 respectively. And again, the fourth and fifth variable are having same difference what the above difference is there. So in total, the sum is 250 and average is 50. But in this series, you can understand the mean median mode. Mean is 50, as we have calculated here. Median is n plus 1 by 2, that is 6 by 2 is 3. Third item, that is 53. So median is 53. There is some variation in the mean and median. Likewise, mode is also 53, because highest number is 53. So mean median mode is having some difference. In the third series, even though the sum of series is 250, there is a lot of variation. First item is 1, second item is 2, whereas third item is 239, and fourth item, fifth item is 3 and 5 respectively. So there is lot of variation. Still the sum is 50, 250, and average is mean is 50. But median is 239 and mode is also 239. So like this, you can understand the series. So here what you have to understand is, even though the averages given here, averages given here are same, but the variation is very high compared to one item and another item. This variation we have to measure. How much variation is there? That is the usage of measures of dispersion. We have observed that arithmetic mean is same and hence series also look similar in nature. All the three series. That's what I explained. Distribution differs widely from one another. In the first, it is absolutely uniform. In the second, it is almost uniform. In third, it is not at all uniform and not nearer to the central variation, central tendency. All the five numbers in the series C is nowhere near the central tendency, that is central point. Central point being 125. Average more meaningful if examined in the light of dispersion. For all the series, average is 50 only. But when you go for dispersion, then there is some difference in the analysis. Here we will try to compare the series A, B, C. In series A, none of the items deviates from the arithmetic mean, hence no dispersion. There is no dispersion, as I said. In the second series, there is little dispersion. Sorry. Only one item is perfect or perfectly represented by A, arithmetic mean. Other items vary but very small compared to series C. Very little dispersion exists here because all are close. The items are very close. In series C, no single item represents the arithmetic mean because no item is there nearer to the 50. Items vary widely from one another. They are widely scattered from one another. Dispersion is much greater compared to series B and A. So a lot of dispersion is there in series C. We have to measure what is the dispersion. Right? So this we will see in the present lesson and next coming lessons. In this figure represents two distributions with same mean. Here you see this line is mean. These two series we have same mean here, highest peak point, but the distribution is different. Take for example A and B series in the previous example, right? With different dispersions. And these two series, you see, there is no common point where means lies. This you can take as second B series B and series C, what we have seen. Represent two distributions with same dispersion, but with unequal means. Here also, wide dispersion is there. So here we will see what is the need of measures of dispersion. After understanding the definition and meaning of the dispersion, we will understand what is the need for measures of dispersion. Interested in the amount of variation. So after looking into the example of previous slide, A, B, C series, then we will try to understand the necessity of measures of dispersion. Especially in C, we have seen that there is widespread dispersion. There is a lot of dispersion. So we will be interested in learning measures of dispersion. its degree, how much variation is there, but not in the direction. Its degree means how much variation is there, but not in the direction of the how much widespread, but to what extent they are widespread in percentage. In other words, it determines uniformity or consistency. Examples we will take. A measure of 6 inches below the mean is same as measuring dispersion of 6 inches above the mean. Difference above and below, if they are same, the dispersion will also be same. One is negative and one is positive. The objectives of these measures of dispersion is to determine the reliability of average. So this will question the reliability of the average. Measures of dispersion will question the reliability of the average. That means how far averages are correct, good, reliable, to serve as a basis for the control of the variability. These measures of dispersion are the basis for control of variability. If you know the reason for variability, because, for example, you have drawn a line on the floor for 50 feet and you try to walk on the line from beginning to end. If you walk on the line without any overstepping or wrong stepping, then there is no deviation. If you by mistake or by some other reason, for some other reason, you have not you are not able to walk on the line itself. Sometimes the steps may be either way, left to the left or right, not on the line. So you know the variation, you know the reason for variation. That reason we have to find out here. So we will know the reason, we know the difference, then we will try to control that variability. So to compare two or more series for variability. Here, comparison of two variables, two data, two different series comes into picture. In mean median mode, we have not compared anything. Just we go on calculating the mean median mode for the given series. Here it comes for comparison. That is why it is called relative measures of dispersion. In the picture what we have seen, absolute and relative, this is called relative. Comparing two series or more series. To facilitate the use of other statistical measures, I said standard deviation is more useful for further studies. So this will help us in understanding the statistical measures more. Statistical measures of analysis for more. We will understand the objectives to determine the reliability of average. It points out how far an average is representative of the mass. How far the average is representing the mass. Mass means the series. And we will understand what if the measures of dispersion is small or large. Because in the series what we have seen, in the first series A, we have no dispersion. In the second series, we have very small dispersion. And in the third series, we have lot of dispersion. When there is small in the second series, average closely represents the individual. So average is very close. And it is reliable also That means if dispersion is very small, it is reliable. You can use the measures of dispersion. It is a good estimate of the average. You can still use the measures of central tendency or averages. If the difference is large, as we have seen in series C, average not so typical. So here, if dispersion is more, average will not play much role, and average may be quite unreliable unless the sample is very large. If the sample is very large, that means some 200 numbers are taken and the difference is between these two numbers, 200 numbers. So then you may not be finding much dispersion. But if you are taking small group of numbers and taking average where there is variation, then it will matter. Second objective is to serve as a basis for the control of variability. That is, determine nature and cause of variation, why the variation is there, what is the cause, and we can control the variation. As I said, if you know why you are deviating from walking on the line, then you can control them. You can see that you walk properly, like that. For example, with regard to health, variation will be in body temperature, variation will be in pulse beat, and variation may be there in blood pressure. For 10 different people, if you take body temperature, pulse beat, and heartbeat, blood pressure, BP, you may find variation in all these 10 people, right? So we'll try to understand why the difference is. The parameters are considered as basic guides to diagnosis because these three are very important for diagnosis of any illness by which variation can be controlled. So the diagnosis will be done basing on this variation, where medicines are used for controlling the variation so that illness will be cured or controlled. And what we can observe from this example is measurement of dispersion is basic to the control of causes of variation. So if you measure them, you will know the cause of the variation and you will try to control them. Third objective is to compare two or more series. We have compared three series like that. Points out how far the average is uniform and consistent. So in all the three series, we understand what is the difference between the averages and how can we rely on them for the analysis. First and second we can rely. Third, we cannot rely on the average. That is the meaning. Now, how to compare consistency? Consistency means uniform, same, maintaining same gap, like that. High degree of variation and low degree of variation. If high degree of variation and low degree of variation is there, how to control? Variation means difference. High degree of variation means little uniformity or consistency. That is, the data is not consistent, uniform, and we have to control them. And low degree of variation means more consistency, data is more consistent, and we need not control much. That is the meaning. The importance of measures of central tendency, measures of dispersion. Central values give one figure that represents entire data. This we have seen in the averages also. The central value central tendency gives one value which will represent all the values, all the data which is given. Averages alone cannot describe. This we have seen. That is why we are trying to study and understand measures of dispersion. Study the variations between the sets of observation. Dispersion is essential. So to study the variation between the given variables, dispersion of measures of dispersion is very essential, very important. The applications has wide range of applications where we can apply these measures of dispersion, in which areas like that. In engineering problems, measures of dispersion are often specially used. For example, in quality control, the quality control people will reject if the quality of the product is much different. There is lot of difference between the quality of the item. The quality is rejected. But if quality is not variation, not variating or not having any difference, much difference in the quality, then they may be accepting the goods. Like this, we can use measures of dispersion. If how much difference is there, so that we can measure, and then we can accept or we can reject. That is a bit of higher studies. You will understand slowly. In social science problems, social science means history, geography, economics, commerce, all these are social sciences. Special problems like measurement of inequality. For example, there are so many differences in the income of so many people. So the economist will try to study why they are differing by using measures of dispersion. He can study the measures to this inequality. Like this, you can use properties of good measures of dispersion. It should be simple to understand. The measures of dispersion should be very simple to understand, very easy to compute. If they are very difficult, then it is not possible for a common man to understand. They are rigidly defined. The measures should be rigidly defined, means you have to use this formula, you have to use like this. That is called rigidness. Only one point. It should be based on each and every item. In averages, we have seen that they are based on each and every item. In the same way, measures of dispersion should be based on each and every item. The measures of dispersion should be used for further statistical analysis. I said standard deviation is the good measures of dispersion because that is used for further statistical analysis also. In calculating the other measures of statistical analysis, we will use standard deviation. In correlation and some other regression, in some other things, we will use the concepts of standard deviation. And the measures of dispersion should not be affected by extreme items. If extreme items are there, it should not be affected. Extreme means very large, very small. In this third series, C, we have seen some small figures below 10, 4 figures below 10, and 1 is 239. So that is the variation. To quickly revive, we have seen this graph. We will try to understand each and every measure of dispersion here. What is range, what is quartile deviation, what is mean deviation, what is standard deviation, what is Lorentz curve. We will try to understand. Only to revise or remember, I have given the chart again. absolute and relative measures of variation. There are absolute and relative measures of variation. That is this one, first one, this one. Methods of variation, methods are various measures of dispersion. What are the different methods? We know what are the absolute and relative values measures, and what are the different measures of dispersion, and to know the dependency of values at particular position, and to know the calculation of measures of dispersion. What is absolute? Expressed in the same statistical unit. Absolute means kachitanga in Telugu. Rigid, same unit. Everything should be measured in kilos. Everything should be measured in height, like that. In which original data are given, rupees, kilograms, tons, like this. One should not be in kilos and one should not be in liters. That we cannot measure, that we cannot compare. That is called absolute. Use it to compare the variation in two distributions. This absolute measures of dispersion are used to compare the variation in two distributions. It is almost pakka, kachitanga ani cheptanga adi. While variables are expressed in same units having same average size. What is relative measures? Ratio of measure of absolute dispersion. Ratio, this is the percentage. Also called coefficient of dispersion. I said range, coefficient of range. We will calculate range, absolute value. We will calculate coefficient of range, relative value. Percentage. Coefficient means a pure number independent of the unit of the measurement. So, whatever the measurement may be, we will measure the percentage of variation. We can take liters and kilograms and we can measure, but we will measure the percentage of variation. Why they are different and how much they are different in percentage. This type of measure is more useful because every time we cannot find same units, then we can use relative measure. Two sets of data expressed in different units. I said relative means two sets of data should be there. We can compare. If only one is there, we cannot compare anything. If two or more data is there, then we can compare. If only one student is there, we cannot compare him with anybody. If 5 students or 10 students are there, we can compare each student with their performance or something else. That is quintals of sugar and tons of sugar cane. Quintals is different, tons is different. The relative measure can be used here. Manager's salary compared to worker's bonus. Then we can compare in relative measure only. Absolute measures we cannot use here. Computing relative dispersion, while computing the average should be as base. Average is used here. Should be the same from each absolute deviation or measure. Where you have measured the absolute, we can measure the relative also. AM should be used with standard deviation. In standard deviation also we will use arithmetic mean. Arithmetic mean is the basis for standard deviation also. Arithmetic mean or median with the mean deviation. Arithmetic mean, median we will use in mean deviation. Right? So what we have learnt in central tendency is useful here also. Important measures, methods of studying, range, interquartile range. We will understand these things when we go for calculation of these things. Quartile deviation. These three are three different measures. Quartile deviations are, these are positional measures. Positional means at a particular point. That is quartiles. Q1, Q2, Q3 we have calculated. Same. As they depend on values at particular position in distribution. Particular position. Mean deviation we will see. Standard deviation we will see. Lorentz curve we will see. Above 4 and 5 are calculation measures of dispersion, and because all the values are used in their calculation. Range means simplest method, difference between smallest and largest. For example, series is given 0 to 100, smallest is 0, highest is 100. So difference between 100 and 0 is 100. That is range. From 2 points. Interquartile range. Interquartile range means comparing Q1 and Q3. Q1 we calculated, Q3 we calculated. We will compare them. That is called interquartile range. And quartile deviation. Say, range includes the middle 50% of the distribution. We will compare Q1 with Q2, Q2 with Q3, and so on. Represents the difference between third quartile and first quartile, Q1 and Q3, like this. Mean deviation or average deviation, that is also called. Here we will use arithmetic mean or median. Average difference between the items in a distribution, and median or mean of that series is used. Sum of deviations of items, as I said, deviations we have taken in arithmetic mean. Same, like that we will take here. From median is minimum when signs are ignored. Signs means plus, minus, positive, negative signs are ignored here. Standard deviation means sigma. We will represent the standard deviation by sigma. Range by R. Mean deviation by MD. Quartile deviation by QD, like this. Introduced by Carl Pearson in 1893. Carl Pearson is another statistician. It is most important and widely used, as I said. It is used in further studies. It is also called root mean square deviation, because we will take square root of the things. Square root is used. Square root of means of square deviations from arithmetic mean. Deviations from arithmetic mean we will take. That is, we have seen shortcut method in arithmetic mean. We have taken assumed mean and we have taken deviations. Here we will take real or actual mean and we will take deviation. Measures the absolute dispersion, right? And Lorenz curve devised by Maxo Lorenz, a statistician, economic statistician, means in economics he is using statistics. Graph method of studying dispersion, cumulative percentage of curve. Here cumulative percentage, cumulative frequency is used in distribution of wealth and income. This is used mostly in economics and other business applications. Study the distribution of profits, wages, turnover, etc. And it also studies the degree of inequality in distribution of income and wealth. Lorenz curve will look like this. Part A, part B, or area A, area B. Area means here, from here to here, central point to here. That is called dispersion. Variation, scattered, that is. Area B, this one. This, from this line, area B. Right? Area B includes area A also here. Since curve B is farthest from diagonal line, it represents greater inequality. More dispersion is there. Like this, we can understand the graph. See here, percent of profits, percent of companies. This is relative measurement. So quickly summing up, what is dispersion? Dispersion is variation, scatterness. Objectives of dispersion like ascertaining the reliability of average, basis for control of variability. We have seen all these things in detail. Objective 1, objective 2, objective 3 with examples we have seen. And we have also seen properties of dispersion. We have also seen measures of dispersion like algebraic and graphic, absolute and relative, and Lorenz curve, In absolute range, mean deviation, quartile deviation, and standard deviation we have seen. Those are the things. And 5 important methods of measures of dispersion we have seen. The same, what I have listed now. And we have some assignment here. We have questions before, because we have not solved any problem in this lesson. It is only theoretical, so you can answer these questions. So we have 8 questions. You please answer them and try to understand what is the measures of dispersion, right? So with this, we will come to an end of this lesson. Thank you very much.